Alright, are we recording yet? I think so. Give me a second. Mic on. Alright, good. You're probably wondering, hey Aizawa, why are you so pissed? Maybe it's because I recorded 2 different fucking videos, and all of them fucked up, alright? First video was Panther. It fucked up because someone called me, alright? I was pissed. Someone called me, and it deleted, like, all of my 20 fucking minutes. Oh, like 23 minutes of hard work, right? Then after that, I tried All for One, right? And just so it didn't delete it if someone called me, I used a different recording software. No audio whatsoever because of... Alright, so you guys have been asking for this a lot, alright? I'm not even going to lie to you. I barely remember where we left off on. I remember, like, what happened and stuff like that. I remember the ships. Alright. If this is a faster one, forgive me, but recording for, like, 40 minutes and all of them, like, fuck up kind of piss you off too, so yeah. Basically, last time I left off, it was just before they entered UA, and Deku's heading into Class 1A. He's looking around, Class 1A, Class 1A, Class 1A, Class 1A, and he sees this guy kind of looking around too. He's like, hey, are you also lost? Like, what class are you looking for? He's like, oh, I'm looking for Class 1A, you know? Deku's like, oh, same. You want to look together? He's like, yeah, sure. So Deku's talking to this guy. He's like, so who are you? He's like, oh, my name's Sho. And yeah, I'm adding Sho into this one. Deku's like, oh, what's your quirk? He explains that he has, like, basically smoke manipulation. He can also become smoke. Smoke turns into different, like, types of smoke. Just smoke in general. Just his quirk is called Smoke or Snoops. But basically, Deku, he's like, oh, my quirk is just Jet. Like, if you've ever heard of Gran Torino. He's like, yeah, I've heard of him. He was a pretty cool hero. He's like, oh, really? Not many people have heard of him. He's an old-timer. But, you know, Gran Torino sneezes. He's like, I think I'm getting talked about right now. He's like, yeah, he's an old-timer. But, like, back to Deku, at least. But, what's it called? He's like, yeah, he's pretty cool, though. You know, he's my gramps. And he's like, oh, I didn't know he had a wife. He's like, neither did he. But ignore that. And then they find Class 1A. They go inside. Kirishima's, like, in there, so is Bakugo and Ida. They're, like, Bakugo and Ida are arguing. Kirishima's just, sitting down. Kirishima sees Deku. He's like, yo, bro, Mito, bro. And, he runs over. He's like, who's this? He's like, this is Sho. He was also lost. I helped him. Or, well, he helped me. We both helped each other. Basically, Deku's like, yeah, Sho, meet Kirishima. Kirishima, meet Sho. Kirishima's like, yeah, nice to meet you, man. My name's Kirishima, yada yada yada. My quirk's Harden. Sho explains his quirk. Yada. They're all cool. They're basically talking. And, basically, we'll say Mina walks up to him. She's like, hey guys, what's it called? Because she knows Kirishima. Hey Kirishima, how are you doing? Kirishima's like, sup Mina, We'll say that Kirishima, like, is just friends with Mina because he's just friends with her. Alright? Nothing more. After that, I don't remember if I made them anything more than that. No, I didn't. I don't think I did. If I did, retcon. So basically, Sho's just chilling out. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, Sho's just chilling, right? Basically, Deku's like, he can already tell that Sho's personality is perfect because he's not too upbeat, but he can already tell that Mina's personality is going to counter his super hard. So he's like, this will be interesting to see. So, they're just talking, right? And then Aizawa comes in. He's like, hey, if you could just came to make friends, then get out. Yada, yada, yada. I'm pretty sure he did save Mount Lady this time instead of Uraka, but I'm still making Uraka Horaka, because that's what I do in every what if. So, what's it called? So, nothing happens with Uraka yet. Basically, after that, Aizawa's just like, hey, everyone get changed, change into this and go. Everyone goes, they get changed, they go outside, yada, yada, yada. Uraka talks about orientation. Aizawa's like, yeah, if you came for orientation, you should just leave. This is a hero school, yada, yada, yada. After that, Aizawa throws Deku the ball. He's like, you got the highest score, chuck it, Deku's like, alright, he basically, if I didn't say before, which, I got the idea from someone in the comments, he has jets on his hands, right? So he just takes a deep breath, and then he just shoots out, like, air pressure from from his hands, which shoot the ball flying. And he gets 900 meters. Because why not? And, you know, everybody's like astonished because Deku just shot a ball 900 fucking meters. And, you know, they're like, so what's your quirk? Yada, yada. Deku explains that he has a quirk called Jet, and he's able to just, you know, he has like jet repulsors on his feet and stuff like that. He just like, that's kind of similar to mine. Deku's like, not, I mean, kind of, but not really, you know. Mine involves like my breath and stuff like that. So, you know, they're talking. As I was like, alright, you know, if you know, if last place gets kicked out, everybody panics except for like Sho and Deku and Kirishima kinda, because he has one for all. Kirishima's still kind of worried, but, you know, he has full cowling, so he'll do great. He'll do perfectly fine. So, after that, you know, Monetta's in last place. They keep him around because comedic relief. Basically, while they're out there, Aizawa does explain, like, hey, also, she's not here today, but I'm going to have an assistant teacher. She was out busy doing hero work, and he's like, so, you know, Deku's like, who is that? He's like, oh, Mount Lady. You know, Deku's like, huh, her again. Like, huh, I met her a few times. She's nice. Like, that's what he's thinking in his head. He's like, huh. After that, he's like, alright, get changed, and, you know, you'll get meet by your new team. You know, we'll just go through the rest of the school day. So, they change, they go through the rest of the school day, and then, we'll skip about, like, I think the next day. And then, All Might busts through the door. He's like, I am here. You know, this time, Mount Lady walks in behind him. She's like, hey, you know, sorry, you know, I wasn't here yesterday. Stuff happened, you know, work stuff. Everybody's like, we understand, yada yada. But most of them are just fanboying over All Might. Deku doesn't really care because he knows All Might. So does Kirishima. Kirishima's still kind of fanboys. Sho doesn't really care because he's Sho. And then after that, All Might's like, alright, everyone, you know, the clothes make the pros, you know. Not the clothes make the pros. He's like, actually, he does say that. He's like, well, it should be doing a heroes versus villains, change into your heroes' outfits, yada, yada, yada. They all change in their hero outfits. Deku is wearing, like, this. Like, Deku just looks like this in the photo. So he walks in there, like, you know, he walks out of there. And he looks like this, so he walks out. Everybody's, like, looking at him because, you know, he looks like a legit hero. He does this pose, he's like, so how do I look? Right? Like, Kirishima's like, you look manly as hell, you know. Sho's like, you look alright. Mina's like, you look great, yada yada yada. You know, Mount Lady, she's thinking in her head, he does look pretty good. Like, actually, though. So do a few other girls, but they don't matter. They're irrelevant. Except for, like, a few girls, because a few girls are pretty cool. Everyone except for Uraraka isn't irrelevant. Now that I say it again. Goddamn. Uraraka pisses me off. Alright? But now that, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so basically they're drawing ballots, right? And then, they draw, it's Kirishima and Bakugo versus Sho and Deku. Sho and Deku are the heroes, Kirishima and Bakugo are the villains. You know, Kirishima's like, damn, I have to be a villain, yada yada yada. Bakugo's like, yeah, just get out of my way, you know, shitty hair. This time Kirishima doesn't really take well to shitty hair. He's like, the hell did you call me? I'm not shitty hair, yada yada yada. So they don't really get along at all because Bakugo had a bad first impression. And, you know, basically Deku, he walks in there, right? You know, he walks in there with Sho. They're talking. He's like, so where do you think the bomb is? Sho's like, most likely it's at like the top because they're both kind of idiots. Deku's like, yeah, you're right. Do you have a way up there? He's like, I could fly up there with smoke. What about you? Deku's like, I could fly up there with my jets. So they walk back outside. They're like, yeah, alright. Deku takes a deep breath, you know, he flies up there. Sho also, you know, goes into like, becomes mist and he goes up there too. You know, Deku's like, can you open up the lock or do you want me to do it? Sho's like, I can do it. And he basically makes like a smoke key and he opens up the lock. Deku's like, that's kind of overpowered, not gonna lie. Sho's like, I know. You know? So after that, he walks downstairs, right? And, you know, they get down there and Bakugo's at the bottom. Kirishima's the one guarding the bomb. He's like, why do I have to guard the bomb? Yada, yada, yada. This isn't manly. Yada, yada. This, that, and the third. Give me a second. Fucking shitting. Alright. So, where I left off, basically, Kirishima was in the bomb room. He's like, oh, this isn't manly to have to guard the bomb. I wish I was out there in the fight, yada, yada, yada. And I realized I made this video super short, so I'm going to try to drag out this fight as long as I can. Basically, shows like, so you want to go in there? You want me to go in there? Deku's like, oh, I'll go in there first, see what we can do. Basically, remember, Kirishima has one for all, so he's not no punk. So Deku gets in, he busts through the door, like, he Gran Torino kicks through the door. He's like, alright, you ready for training? You know, he's like, you got through Bakugo, that's fast. He might be, he might be a jerk, but he's not that weak. He's like, yeah, you'd be surprised, yada, yada, yada. And, he's, like, basically fighting Kirishima right now. You know, Kirishima's throwing right hooks, Deku's just sliding under him. He's like, you leave yourself way too wide open, you need to learn proper combat. You know, Kirishima goes, like, he goes for a punch. Deku just touches him, right? He dodges it and then puts his hand to Kirishima's chest and then does the air palm. I'm just going to call it air palm from now on. So he does, like, an air palm. So Kirishima gets shot. He hits a wall. He's hardened right now, so he's fine. But it was loud enough to where Bakugo, like, heard it, and he's like, oh, shit, they're up there. So he starts running up there. Now Deku and Kirishima are just squaring off. Sho's just watching this like, huh, that's pretty cool. They're doing pretty well. And Deku, he's just like, he's throwing good hands with Kirishima. Not really, he's not really trying to like, just like, knock Kirishima out or anything. He's trying to see what Kirishima's capable of. Because if he was trying to like just defeat Kirishima, he'd just shoot him out the window. Like, it might sound fucked up, but he knows that Kirishima would probably survive. Most likely survive. So basically Deku's fighting with Kirishima, right? And then Bakugo busts in. Deku's like, alright, time to take care of one. He dodges Kirishima's punch, points both his hands at Kirishima's chest towards the windows. He's like, see you on the flip side. He just shoots him out of the fucking window. Kirishima, he gets shot down, and then he does that Looney Tunes shit where he like looks down, like where he's like just standing there, right? He's like, what the hell? And then he looks around. He looks down, and then he starts falling. It's like, ah, fuck you, basically. Bakugo's like, I'm gonna get you, damn nerd, yada, 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 because he still knew Bakugo, I'm pretty sure. So basically, like, Deku, now he's like, going way too fast for Bakugo to even see. Like, he's kicking Bakugo, like, because he's in his element right now. He's in a room with a bunch of walls, and he's, like, just bouncing around, kicking Bakugo. All Might's seeing this, and he's low-key getting, like, Vietnam flashbacks. But he's like, it's not him, alright? And he's saying this, like, in a low voice, but, like, Mount Lady hears this, she's like, what's up, All Might? All Might explains that Deku's grandpa is the one who really trained him to be the hero he is, and the training was pretty brutal. So she's like, wow, this guy comes from a family of heroes, yada, yada, yada. And she realized that All Might slightly, shook by Deku's presence alone, which, I mean, I would too, not gonna lie. So after that, Deku's basically just beating up Bakugo, and Sho's like, alright, I think that's good enough, and Bakugo just falls. Deku, he goes and he touches the bomb. Right as he touches the bomb, Kirishima busts through the door. He's like, I'm not gonna let you guys win, and, hero team wins. Kirishima's like, dang it, he's just kicking the ground. He's like, damn, I almost had you too. Deku's like, sure you did, buddy, They all walk out, and, they basically forget Bakugo's there, because none of them really like him. Kirishima had a bad experience. Sho thinks he's too loud, and so does Deku, on both Kirishima and Sho's reasons. Basically, after that, Deku, he's just like, what would I say? He gets there. Momo explains that Sho should have helped Deku out. They took advantage of the fact that it was training, yada, 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 and Kirishima really was the only real type of, did the best, because I want to give Kirishima something. Kirishima, he's happy, because, he got told he did the best. He's like, alright, yeah, like, he's celebrating it out. Bakugo's still, knocked out on the ground. Recovery robots get him. He's sent to Recovery Girl. And, after that, Deku, Kirishima, and Sho, they're walking home. Basically, Kirishima's like, I had fun today, you guys. Let's go, but I'm gonna head home now. Sho's like, same. It was nice to meet you both, and, I hope we can hang out a lot more. He heads out. Deku's like, that was pretty fun. And he just uses his quirk because he just wants to and flies off. doesn't really have too much of an interaction with Midnight, or not Midnight, fuck, Mount Lady. So, yeah. And that's how I'm going to leave it off. So, sorry that this is way shorter. If you record 2 videos that are both 20 minutes and they both somehow fuck up on you, you'd be pissed as well. So, yeah.